All right, we're back. Large and in charge. Episode 7 of the Idiot Circle. I'm Mike.
I'm Fred.
I'm Rob.
And Rob's in Buffalo.
Yep.
And Rob is in Buffalo.
That is not Rob's living room. His living room looks a lot better than that.
Yes.
What
This
are you
is
staying at? The Marriott?
Courtyard.
Okay.
Internet's strong, Mike.
Yep.
Internet's strong.
Yeah. Unlike the La Quinta.
Yes.
La
La
Quinta.
Quinta.
I'll never be staying at that piece of shit ever again.
Tell us how you really feel, Mike.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a piece of shit. What can I say?
Yeah.
La Quinta.
So, Rob, you're in Buffalo. You went to the Sabres game. When was that? Monday
Night.
Yeah. How was that?
Well, I like when I'm out of town, nothing to do on the nights. I don't want to just sit in the hotel room, so I usually go on StubHub or something. And shameless plug, by the way, StubHub, if we ever get a
So you get tired of Rosie and her five ugly sisters, right?
5-finger knuckle shuffle.
I wouldn't say that, Mike. I could work both in a game and a little bit.
What are you going to get in the penalty box and go?
You got to get rid of that baby batter before you go to the game.
That's right. Can't go in. Can't go in loaded.
Is that hair gel? Oh no, that's your earbud.
Oof.
But I had a good time. We had good seats, and the team got their butts kicked. But oh well, I didn't care. I mean, saw the stinking Florida Panthers win another game. I'm just so sick of them.
Yeah, and Buffalo's not your team anyway.
No.
Yeah, it's
But
cool that he gets
it. Was
it.
great.
Yeah, he does get a lot of opportunities to check out these all these other barns that people are playing in. So, but the cool thing was Kevin Mond came over, and we and Rob says I'm at the stadium, and he showed me where he was sitting, and so we flipped on the game, and sure enough, there's Rob sitting all by himself. But I don't know why he was tilting his head back and shaking uncontrollably, but
sitting all by myself. I must have smelled, I don't know what was going on. I mean, we were 3 rows back, and it was a good time.
So you didn't have anybody sitting on either side of you, or what?
Well, I was 4 rows back, and the row was full, and the 3rd row in front of us was wide open. So after the first period, I just went and sat down there.
That's crazy. 3rd row.
That place was half filled.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
He was in the 3rd row, and the closest guy to him was like 2 seats over to his left.
So I thought Buffalo had rabid fans. Is that only for football, or?
No, I think they have rabid fans. I just don't think their team's been really bad. COVID. New York was on lockdown forever. I tried to go last year when I was here. They wouldn't even let you in wouldn't even let you in the building.
Really? So they played with no crowd?
Yeah, they played with no crowds. Yeah, and that was 2 years ago, everybody did, but in New York, they extended it a year, I think.
Oh yeah, it's like they wouldn't even let you into the city if you weren't vaccinated or you didn't have proof that you were COVID free. So
not letting me into a city just shows good judgment, but you can either hear it.
Yeah, smart on their part. I don't think they singled you out.
I second that notion.
But they probably should single you out, but I don't think they did in this case. Right. So are you sick of buffalo wings yet, or?
I'm just sick of Buffalo. I'm ready to come home.
Yeah. Is it snowing still there? Or
no,
pretty clear.
I got here and it's been first 2 days were about, I don't know, upper 40s. And yesterday was cold in the later part of the afternoon. And today was pretty mild temperatures.
It's warmer than it is here.
Yeah. Oh my God. Today was like, as soon as you walked out, it just went right through you.
Yeah.
Brutal, man.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
Sun was out, but it's like, oh, look, the sun's out, and you walk out and you're like, oh my God. It was so cold.
Yeah, winter sucks, man.
No, I hate it.
Hey, so we're getting a lot of play. I noticed when I go out in public, people will start talking, like people we know that kind of listen to the show, Mish Smith and just different people that I can't believe people like this shit.
Well, hey, we're 3 likable guys.
I think what it is they're bored. We picked a good time to do this because it's winter time and nobody has anything to do outside. So, come spring and summer, we're going to get like 2 views as opposed to 22 views.
All right.
Well, but after we take over and storm that Elginak market, we should
Yeah.
up, 2 or 3 views from there.
I've been
Right.
working on that. I'm going to
Yeah.
the Elginak Flaming Grill once in a while for breakfast, just trying to plant some seeds for the idiots.
I'm one of the idiots from
Yeah.
the idiot circle.
Oh
All
yeah,
right.
but everybody
I-
knows I'm an idiot. They
Yeah,
just didn't know
can
I
I
was
get-
doing this.
Yeah, can I get a reservation at Catch 22? Yeah. Who is this? What? You don't know this voice? You don't
Check
know who
the
this
number,
is?
bitch. You know who it
Hello,
is.
I'm M-Dub from the idiot circle.
Yeah, no doubt.
Who?
Right. They're like, I have no idea what you're
Click.
talking about.
Click.
Right.
That's funny.
So you guys got some topics? Fred, what do you got for us tonight? I know you got something in your grab bag.
Oh yeah, I got about 2 or 3 things that we could talk about. I thought we'd talk about keep it kind of in the local flavor. No pun intended when we tell you what the subject is, but I was thinking top 3 burgers in the Blue Water area.
All right,
And
Rob.
I promise not to go number 4.
Okay.
You'll give us 6. We know
Yeah,
that.
we know.
The top 3, we'll get 6 from Fred.
He's got to go last because he's going to double the count at
You know,
least.
when he gets to like 4 honorable mentions on every one. So
Oh, I'm sorry. But I will tell you that this does not count like fast food. This is all local establishments.
Okay. So
Okay,
are you
so-
saying, Mike, I'm up first?
Yeah, you're up first.
All right. So I'll start with number 3 and work to number 1.
Okay.
So, and I had it just last week at the Charlie's River Crab. It was a great burger, and their shoestring French fries are unbelievable. It was big enough, not too massive. It was cooked perfectly. So I like my hamburger medium rare, and yeah, it had good flavor. It was crispy on the outside, so they had a nice char on the outside, and very good.
So
Number
River Crab,
2,
only Rob would go to a seafood restaurant and order a
Restaurant.
fucking burger like a
Right.
moron.
well, that was one of the things on the happy hour special menu. So that's
Oh yeah, that's
Oh.
right.
Therefore-
Yeah, because Rob's on a tight budget.
Yeah,
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 but-
we know. He's he probably blew his wad on the weekend, so he doesn't
Yeah,
have
he
any
did.
money.
Hey Rob, just to let you know you can't take it with you.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't take it with you. Number 2, and it's been a while since I've been there, was one of my grandfather's haunts for a good burger, and that's the Raft down in, where's that, Anchor Bay?
Yeah,
Fairhaven.
Fairhaven.
Fairhaven, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say that's my number 2 for St. Clair County. The 3 of us have a good story about one of the famous burgers in St. Clair County we tried, and it was like, eh.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I know probably all 3 of us will have number 1 the same, and that's good old Gar Burger. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to beat a Gar burger, especially for us Marine City boys.
Yeah,
And
it's
I'll
great.
pull a Fred. My honorable mention for 3rd could be the Winner's Circle. Hey, shout out to the Winner's Circle.
That's a pretty
There you
good
go.
burger. Pretty
it's a
good burger.
right?
Shay
Yeah.
and Marsh.
Nice.
Jay and Marsh.
Nice. Well, I don't venture if I'm going outside of Marine City, I don't really get burgers that much unless I'm going to like Five Guys, but they don't count because they're a fast food restaurant.
Right.
And they're not in St. Clair County, are they?
Yeah, no,
No.
there isn't one in St. Clair County.
No,
is
there's
there?
not.
No.
I guess Raft's not either, is it?
Yeah, it is.
I think
it
it's
is?
still considered.
Yeah, I think it still is. I think because Palms or McKinley Road is the cutoff line.
Macomb County. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. It might actually be even further out because county line is out, by 94. So maybe it, extends towards the lake, and that's still St. Clair County. I don't know. I'm not a geography expert, for Christ's sakes. Are you?
Yes. Yeah, because I mean the Raft's out by Palms Road, so
Yeah.
it's still in play.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're in good. Yeah, it's good.
So I agree with Rob on number 1. I'm going to go the opposite. I'm going number 1 is Gars for me. probably for Fred too, but I'm not going to speak for him. But Gar Burger, hard to beat. It's we've been going like once a week, I think, and getting Gar Burger. So
Mike and I had a Gar Burger about 3 months ago and shit for four hours straight, and we're still picking it number one. That's how bad. That's how
exactly. It's still number one. Actually, I would say number 2 is probably Winter Circle for me. That's a good burger. It's a good burger. I mean, it's
Nice.
it's a lot smaller than the Gar Burger, but it's more it's easier to eat, right? Because Gar Burgers, once you eat them, I mean, you're full for forever, it seems like. But yeah, I like the taste of the Winter Circle burger, and
Nice.
they've really improved that place, man. I don't know why we don't go there more often. It's nice in there.
Fred really found a special little hookup at the Winter
Oh,
Circle
yeah,
last
right.
time.
Nearly. I would call that a near miss.
Oh God. It's like, can you just go away, please?
Yeah,
I
crazy.
loved her attitude though.
Oh
yeah.
She's a great
Yeah.
girl. You know what they say about big girls? They provide you heat in the winter and shade in the summer.
Jesus Christ. Really? Yeah, I wasn't having any of that whatsoever. No way.
Only because your boys were there. If you were flying solo, I'm not sure.
No,
Who knows?
no,
Who knows?
I'm taken. So good.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say, number 3. I stick local with the burger, so it's been a while since I had one, but Anita's has pretty good burgers, believe it or not. They have good burgers. I don't know what you guys feel about fries, but they have like the coated fries, or I don't know what they call them. Are they seasoned fries or whatever?
Yeah,
I don't like coating on fries. I can't do it.
I like the steak fries at Gar's. So,
oh yeah, those are good.
Yeah.
Or
onion
the tater
rings at
tots.
Gar's are on.
Or the
yeah.
tater
I like
tots.
tater tots. I like onion rings.
Onion rings are good.
I
Tater
love
tots
onion
are
rings.
good.
Yep.
The steak fries are good. Cauliflower's good when they have it. Mushrooms, they got everything. I mean, it's just a love fest for Gar's. That's a big promo for Gar's on this show. But so that's my top 3. I have no honorable mentions because, quite frankly, those are the only places I get burgers at.
Right.
I don't bother going anywhere else.
You know what though? We're forgetting one back in the day. The old charbroiled Dairy Queen burger back.
Yeah, that's fast food.
Yeah, that's fast food.
You can't have fast food.
Yeah, can't fast food.
All right.
So, but that is a good burger though. You're right about that.
Yeah. Comprehension's good here, Rob.
Yeah. No fast food.
Never one of my big strengths.
Yep.
So fast food, is it if it has drive-through, that's considered fast food, right? I mean, is that the definition?
I don't know.
Maybe a chain.
Chain.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Fred, you're up.
All right, I'm going to start with number 3. Three is the Raft Burger at the Raft.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. I liked it. It's a good size.
That's what she said.
Yeah, right. Number 2 has not been mentioned.
She said she saw bigger, but it's good.
Right. Yes. Number 2 hasn't been mentioned. I'm going with the Murphy Burger at Murphy's.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
I'm really bacon, the cheese, lettuce, if you want tomato, whatever, but they also have cucumbers, and it's really, I don't know, it's outstanding. And they got a special sauce that they put on that hamburger that's really good.
Oh, I bet you like the special sauce.
And
they
of course,
put cucumber on a burger.
Yep, it's awesome.
We're not talking pickles. We're talking cucumbers.
You can have pickles, but whatever.
That sounds disgusting.
It's awesome, and they have the waffle fries with it, and of course, number 1 is definitely the Gar burger. Yeah, Gars. I mean, you can go with the mushroom Swiss. You can go with the Gar, the original Gar burger. I mean, you can
the black and blue.
You can't go wrong there.
They got several flavors of Gar burgers.
Right.
Fred, what do we like about Gar burger too? They put that big slab of onion on the side.
My God.
You can just put on there.
Yeah, I love, especially I love raw onion. I mean, and it doesn't matter if it's the red onion or the white, but that white onion that they provide in the pickles, goes perfect with that burger. And these days I can barely finish one, which is shocking.
I finished mine quicker than you the other night.
Yeah, the other
Yeah.
night Rob
You
made a
inhaled it.
full one, and I'm still eating a half. I'm like, wow. So,
Okay.
but yeah, I give a shout out to the Raft, which I really enjoyed, and Murphy's. I give you kudos for your burger there, and then of course Gar's. It's kind of hard to beat the king. I don't know if there's anybody out there that can beat it.
No, I've only
Chocolate.
had one Raft burger my entire life, and it was probably, I don't know, like 5 years ago.
Mm.
It's weird. I don't, everybody talks about the Raft burger or raves about it. I just never went there. So,
Right. I mean, it was
In the summer, it's kind of cool too. You sit outside.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Atmosphere kind of maybe ups the burger a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a great place.
I like it. It's got that hole in the wall type bar restaurant inside as well. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it does. It's a dive bar,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay. Nice. What do you got, Rob? You got a topic for tonight?
Well, I thought, draft is heating up. NFL draft's heating up. We're getting close to the trade deadline. I thought we'd talk a little NFL football. Of course, we know Russell Wilson made the switch. He's no longer a Seattle Seahawk. He's no longer with Pete, and he's now in the Denver Broncos organization. And it's going to, man, that AFC West is really heating up. It's going to be a tough division. They have great quarterbacks out there.
It's pretty scary when you can say Derek Carr's the worst quarterback out of the whole division.
Right. And then he's really, he's a great quarterback himself.
Yeah.
And it's, yeah. Yeah.
Well, that not to mention the fact that Carson Wentz just got traded to the Redskins. I refuse to call them the Commanders. So he just got traded to the over from the Colts over there. So now the funny thing is how much we hate Mike Valeni. There's rumors that the Giants are going after Mitchell Trubisky.
Oh, you're kidding me. Oh my, that would be so perfect.
I wanted so bad to be on the out at lunchtime at 2:00 to listen to him just bitch, moan, and groan about the Giants going after Mitchell Trubisky.
Let me ask you this, Fred.
The only team he could beat was the Lions.
Wentz, he's not a bad quarterback.
No, he's not. He's actually really got good numbers.
Right? Last couple of years, he had a couple breaks. Now he's going to a team where he's going to have a great defense. Will always keep him in good field position.
Right.
I mean, I like this. That it kind of excites me about the opportunity he could.
Yeah, that defense is pretty solid when you got Chase Young on one end, you got Kerrigan on the other, and you got Dante Sweat plugging up the middle. That's a pretty solid defense, and their defensive backs are actually really halfway decent too. So, I think that's the one thing that Washington might have some money, cap space too, to give Carson Wentz a little weaponry. But now that we're hearing, Rob mentioned that Rob Gronkowski is possibly going to sign with the Buffalo Bills. Like Josh Allen needs another weapon. I mean, I think when you add somebody this is the best time of the year when we start talking, about the football and about the draft and about the free agent market. It's going to be crazy. And the Lions do have a lot of money available for them to be able to spend and maybe get some viable veterans, somebody that might just needs a change of, venue, so to speak, and hopefully be able to help them out. But I'm really looking forward to the draft for sure.
Mike, how about this? So the Packers are kind of leveraging their future already. They're now 22 or 33 million over the cap. They'll still have to sign two guys to keep them happy. If they don't, and they're both guys are going to be a lot of money. Obviously, we're going to franchise one. Looks to be Devontae Adams. But then they got to deal with the big elephant in the room, and that's going to be Aaron Rodgers.
That's Karen Rodgers.
Rodgers. What could this mean for that team going forward? Like in the next 10, 15 years, could they now be the worst team in the division? Could that happen?
Not over worse than the Lions, I doubt it. But is Rodgers in or out? Because I heard that he extended, and then I heard that he came out and said no, that's not a done deal. So what's the scoop?
He signed, but he hasn't the details that were given in the article about what he got. He was kind of, whoa, that's not what it's all about. The biggest thing is they were talking about on the radio about well, somebody should, if they sign him, then they should try to trade him. The problem is all the teams out in the NFL, they might want, the thought of having Aaron Rodgers as their quarterback, might sound good, but
looks attractive. But
yeah, it looks attractive. The problem is you're talking about a guy that's might going to play 1 or 2 years. Yeah. And then you're not going to have a first round pick for the next 3 years. I mean, look what the Rams did to themselves. I mean, they haven't had a first round draft pick since 2016.
I know, but Fred, look at this.
So and look how long it took them though to get to the, to win a Super Bowl. And who did it take? Who did it take to win that Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford.
Listen to this, Fred. So, I mean, the last at least 10 years, maybe a little less than 10 years, Green Bay has been using smoke and mirrors with their defense.
Oh, there's no
That's
question.
not a good defense.
No.
Their secondary might be the worst in the NFL. And now they keep addressing this Rodgers thing. And now Adams, they're not really paying attention or focusing on that defense. So when there is that vacuum and that void, when Rodgers leaves, what's going to happen to that?
Oh, that team's going to implode. I mean, it's just no different than what Tampa Bay's going through. Tampa Bay should just wear the creamsicle uniforms for the next 3-4 years because they don't have anything anymore.
Here's the report on Tampa Bay, Mike, right now. They're not going to sign Fournette or Jones. So now they're going to be in the market. Now they lost their quarterback. They lost one of their receivers. They lost their running back.
So yeah, they just franchise tagged Godwin.
They did franchise tag Godwin. That's correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, 2 years ago they won a Super Bowl. So I mean, you can't be the Patriots and win a bunch of Super Bowls every year. I think those days are gone. Honestly, I don't think there's going to be another team like that.
You still
ever.
Want to be relevant, though. I mean, I don't think they're going to be relevant. I mean, they don't have a clue who their quarterback's going to be.
So you're telling me if the Lions sold their soul and got
Jameis
all-star
Winston,
team,
Fred, Jameis Winston's going to be the
so they got an all-star team.
Was he going to come
They won
back?
the Super Bowl. You wouldn't take that? The Lions win the Super Bowl to fucking cash in all their chips to win a freaking Super Bowl. I'd take it any day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Mike, stay in that lane with the Lions. Okay, so now we're talking draft and what the Lions have. I've told Fred, like, if we get to that second pick and I hear with the second pick in the 2022 draft, the Detroit Lions have traded their pick, I would just get so excited.
I would be just, so would I.
You just get more, right? You just stop, like Fred uses the phrase stockpiling draft picks, but that's how teams are really built, not by taking the number one pick in the draft review. That gets you have to leverage it out.
Yeah, because if you think about it, guys, everybody's talking about, they should take this guy, blah, blah, blah. Well, first of all, we're only getting the 32nd pick because the Rams won the Super Bowl. Well, guess what? Those 3 picks that they have, the first 2 in the first round and 1 in the second, you're getting 3 of the top 50 players in the draft.
That's a good point.
But the thing is those 3 people are not going to change your franchise overnight. What you need is to build up, a group of people that are going to be backing up and stockpiling, for you got first teamers and second teamers, people that can fit in the nickel and the dime packages and third downs. And the thing is, they should be focusing on the defense. And now they're saying that Aiden Hutchinson's going to go number 1.
They say he's going 1.
Yeah. So if he goes number 1, then that leaves Thibodeau, and I don't want anything to do with him. So if I'm going with number 2, I'm either trading out of here and getting as many picks as I can. I'm looking to fleece somebody. I mean, maybe somebody like the Jets or the Giants, or God, there was the other team. I can't remember who it was.
Jacksonville.
No, it's sitting at 10. Um,
10.
Okay. But the thing is I'm focused on the defense. If you're going to stay with that pick, I'm either going Jordan Davis from Georgia,
Mhm.
or I don't know if I can accept taking Kyle Hamilton at number 2 as a safety.
So, I'm a Notre Dame guy,
Sure.
and I brought Kyle Hamilton to the table when he was just a rook, or just
Oh
a
yeah.
recruit coming in. I followed him before he hit Notre Dame. He is probably one of the most explosive safeties I've ever seen. His propensity to be around the ball, meaning he gets more interceptions than anybody I've ever seen at that position. However, the last 2 years, he had a problem staying healthy to keep on the field. So that's my concern. Mike, what about, Fred and I are Lions fans, there's no doubt. Your only sport is football, and you've always said, you're just a diehard Lions fan. What do you say? Here we got draft coming up, and they're looking pretty good.
I know, but I'm concerned about the staff. I'm not sold on the staff at the Lions that they even have a clue what they're doing. Are things turning around? That's debatable, but I think that the players are playing harder than they ever have, definitely than they did under Patricia. So I think Campbell's an improvement at coach. Is he the best coach? No, it's the first time he's been a head coach, so
Right.
he's got a lot to learn. I just don't know. The Lions historically have not done well getting people or drafting people. That's my concern. They get good picks, and what do they do with them? It's just
They
so
have a hard
far
time developing those picks.
atrocious so
just
far.
kind of to piggyback on what Mike's saying. You're saying their coaching staff's not well. I think the coaching staff, other than Campbell, is probably one of the best assembled coaching staffs because they've all played and they're all respected by their players. When you got Aaron Glenn as your defensive coordinator, you got Deuce Staley as your running back coach, and you're bringing all these guys coming in.
Uh-oh.
Fred's got some internet issues. He's
You know what
frozen
I'll
in
say
time.
to that, though, why he tries to get back in, and I kind of disagree with Fred on this. It's not about name recognition at
No.
coaching positions. It's about development of players. Can you coach development? There's still young men coming into the NFL. You got to take a raw talent and bring them up to a high level of speed quickly. And can that coaching staff do that? I think their last draft was probably, everybody said they gave them a B+ on that draft last year. I'm not going to go that far. I'll go at maybe a C+, maybe B- on that draft. But, St. Brown was kind of a luck pick, to tell you the truth. And then everybody else at that we're going to see. You look at it, you're right, Mike. This is a team that drafted highly Jeff Okudah.
Yeah, it's what a disaster. It reminds me of back in the day. They got who was the dude out of Texas, the wide receiver?
Was it a
Roy Williams?
Roy Williams,
and then
yeah.
they had the guy from Michigan State, the receiver, that I think was the year before.
Yeah.
What the hell was his name? I forget. But anyway,
was that another Williams? Was they have like two Williams?
Could have been, yeah. I don't remember, but they just, I don't know. I think there's something to the Bobby Lane curse. I think they're a cursed team, man. They get some players and they get good players. In my opinion, they had the best running back of all time on their team at one time, and they probably had a top 3 of all time receiver in Kelvin Johnson on their team. They just can't get their shit together. It's so frustrating.
It is weird, isn't it? Because it's a great sports town. It's a sports town that have brought great legends, right? Some of the greatest ever played the game. Gordie Howe. You just mentioned,
Barry.
And then Joe Louis. Another great athlete. It's just such a great sports town. And for them, and we've had dynasties here before with the Red Wings, the Tigers, the Pistons, and then the Lions just cannot get this put together. And there's one common theme that I always say when everybody says, it's the coaching staff, it's the players, it's the way we draft. It's the ownership. The ownership is not doing a good job. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, I mean it's been a problem for many, many years, right? And you know, in this day and age, I mean, and I'm serious. If the Lions just went all in and
Balls in,
balls in, balls
balls
deep,
in.
whatever you want to say, and won a Super Bowl, I'd be happy for the rest of my life. Honestly, all it takes is one Super Bowl win. We've had nothing. We've had absolutely nothing. So,
oh, you've had a playoff win in 70 years.
yeah. Ooh, that's outstanding, right? I mean, so I don't, and I don't think many teams are looking long term. I mean, at the college football level, at the pro football level, they want to win and win now. That's the name of the game. I mean, I think it's bullshit. Hey, we're building for the future and blah blah blah. Bullshit. I mean, come on.
Rebuilding since 1957.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what, Fred says, well, yeah, after that they're going to, they lose one player and, after winning the Super Bowl, and then they have to completely rebuild. Well, we've been rebuilding for our entire fucking lifetime in Detroit. So, hey, I'll take a Super Bowl win. I mean, Tampa Bay went out and got Brady and then Gronk and they won a Super Bowl. Yeah.
Well, look at what Rams just did. They went out.
Rams
and got
just
Stafford,
did the same
they
thing.
Got Donald. They went out and got a bunch of people to win the Super Bowl because they said it's important to our fans to have one Super Bowl and then we'll rebuild again.
Right. And I mean, Tampa Bay was the first time that a home team played in the Super Bowl and won it. And then the Rams just did it. I mean, where's the Super Bowl next year? Maybe we should
be
get
in
one
Detroit?
of those. Yeah, Detroit. Maybe we should do one of those long shot bets and who's who's ever the home stadium this year, and just put $100 on the team to go to the Super Bowl.
It's usually a team that just built a stadium. That's who gets Super Bowl.
So let's see. Super Bowl. I'll just Google it. 2023, right?
Let me tell you this though. I saw this in the AP press when it happened. Remember when Detroit had the Super Bowl here about 10 years ago?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So all the players got a letter by the IRS the year after saying that there's a special law only in Michigan. If you work one day in this state, you're assessed that day's wages. So they all had their Super Bowl bonus taxable. And so the players union fought it and they lost to the IRS. But, it was like win the battle, lose the war. The players union said, we'll see if Detroit ever gets a Super Bowl again. Nope.
Yeah, it's crazy. So next year's Super Bowl, for the record, is in Arizona. So
I knew that. Let's go put some money down on Arizona.
Exactly. Yeah. Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think
they just put a big extension out to their coach. They just gave him a bunch of money.
Oh, really?
Now the quarterback's pissed.
Yeah. Aren't they having some issues with Murray? Or he's having some issues with them or something. Yeah. So that's kind of a shit show down there, huh?
Well, it looks like Fred can't get back online. Huh? This could be our best show ever.
He gone. He's probably going down to Starbucks or something with his laptop, or he could call in. I don't know if he knows that, but he can call in.
He's screaming at Kendra right now for no reason. She doesn't know what the hell.
I'm gonna text him and let him know he can call in. Let's see.
It's funny. The other thing, and while you're doing that, I'll mention it. The other thing, of course, 3 Marine City guys. We talk a lot about Marine City. We all picked ours, right?
Yeah.
So the other thing that Fred said, should we save City Hall in Marine City?
Oh, yeah.
And I have a feeling that we might have some difference of opinions on this.
Oh, yeah.
And I used to be a person that was like tradition, save, old, keep. And if that book that I have about Marine City, if you read about Marine City, City Hall, how much it meant. There were some great performers back in the late 1800s, early 1900s. They used to have an opera there. It came every year. I mean, it was the place to be. Like the 3rd floor was an opera hall, and they would have opera and groups and music there all the time. But you know what? If it's going to do nothing, and that's such a big building to try to save, to have somebody come in and do something there, you might as well then tear it down and make it some good green space use or something that's going to be valuable for the city.
Yeah, or tear it down and build something new. It's probably
That's
cheap.
what I mean. Yeah.
Build another city hall. It's probably going to be cheaper than trying to repair what's going on there. I guess there's a lot of problems there with the structurally. There's problems with it. So, I'm in favor. I mean, I know it's a landmark, and everybody gets all irritated when they talk about, well, we can't tear down a landmark. Yeah, you can. If it's about money. Marine City doesn't have a lot of money. They don't. I mean, drive around Marine City, you can see the roads just suck. I mean, honestly.
And so if they could generate some money there, well, I hate to say this, Mike, but what Marine City should do is get paid parking, right? Because that will generate some money to fix the roads and do some of that common area cleanup. Because that city's getting a lot of. It's the only city in St. Clair County that gets Detroit suburb money. It really is. Anybody wants to argue that, you're wrong. St. Clair gets money. They get St. Clair money. That's all the people in St. Clair hang out there. Pour your own system.
I think St. Clair is improving for sure. They're doing.
It is.
They're on the upswing, and I think there were where Marine City was probably 8 years ago or whatever. So they're on the upswing. They're doing a lot of stuff in the summer that we just don't do. We don't do we do some of the concerts and stuff, but they're having them like every weekend and sometimes during the week also. They get a lot of bands.
You know why that is though, Mike? They feel, I've talked to people from St. Clair, they know that Marine City's busy in the summer, fall, winter, spring. Even in the winter, you can go downtown Marine City in February. St. Clair's really not that in the spring, summer, or winter, spring. They have to make their money in the summer and they get a little bit of fall. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think our boy has dropped off, huh? He's gone. Yeah. So one of the things that this is a good segue to talk about. One of the topics Fred wanted to talk about is ranking the seasons. Like, which season do you like? I know which one everybody's probably going to say is the worst. We're in it right now.
Yeah.
We're at the tail end of it, but we're in it.
I'm not saying it's the worst.
No? All right.
No,
rank your seasons, buddy.
Fall number one for sure.
Okay.
It's the change, the beautiful leaves are changing. That's really what Midwest means. Like when I tell people when I was from California or lived in California and Florida, Midwest, you can't beat it, especially in fall. Football's there, changing of colors, cider mills and all that. It's a great time to be alive in the Midwest. Second favorite season is obviously summer. Then I like winter because I like to do a lot of winter sports. Spring is the worst because the air is always damp and wet. You go outside and you're running or doing some stuff. It hurts your lungs and your throat. It's always drippy, wet, and cold, damp.
That's the worst, huh? Spring for you?
I've always hated it since I was a kid too. Yeah.
Wow. I'd have to say fall is number one for me. I mean, that's my favorite sport is in the fall. So obviously that and part of winter, honestly. But
is that curling?
Yeah, curling.
Yeah,
what else would it be? Yeah, I mean, shit. I mean, those guys are amazing with those brushes, and I mean, what a sport!
The brush do?
Yeah, and there's a science to it. I don't know what the science is exactly because these guys that a lot of the guys are in this sport, they have beer guts like we do, so that's kind of appealing. Like maybe bowling and curling. I mean, those are sports we could actually do if we really put our minds to it.
The curling guy sitting there, he's sliding down on the one knee. Thing.
Now, football and basketball and baseball, those are long gone for us, but we could still compete in bowling and curling. I think we have a shot. But so for me, fall is probably number one. Summer is number two. I love summer, but honestly, I like fall a lot better. Summer sometimes is too hot. I mean, I'm one of those people that sometimes it's too hot.
Hot as balls.
Yeah, and fall never gets too hot. I mean, fall's perfect weather for me. I got to go with spring third because I totally detest winter with every fiber of my being. I hate winter.
You're not a winter guy.
Oh God, I hate it.
No.
I hate it.
I could tell.
I used to, when I was younger, go like sledding and, we'd go have snowball fights and shit like that. And I never understood.
And I should do that, Mike.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Let's
we
go
can get a-
sledding and have snowball fights.
that sounds good. We'll probably break something, like physically on ourselves, not something around us. But so yeah, I don't know. Winter, I just don't. I get why people go to Florida in winter now. I never understood it when I was a kid. Like snowbirds, who the hell would want to do that? I'm all about it, man. I would do that in a heartbeat. Go down to Florida for 3 months, 4 months, and then the rest of the time spend here. Yeah, winter sucks, man. Can't stand it.
I'm gonna permanently become a snowbird.
Yep, he's leaving, folks. He's leaving. What, the first week of April, second week of April?
First week of April.
That's no April Fools. He's moving
Now
to
we don't want the
Florida.
masses calling in uproar. I'll be doing the show remote, so don't worry.
You'll have internet access. They have that in Florida.
Hey, unbelievable. Yeah, they do. They have internet.
I think
access.
Freddie might be coming back. Let's see. It says Frederick uses.
Frederick.
Yeah, Frederick.
Has anybody ever called? His parents never even called him.
No, nobody calls him Frederick, so I don't know why he has to be so
You know how he got
official
to
here.
be named Freddie?
How?
My grandfather used to go over, and when he saw Kiki, Fred's mom, when she was pregnant, he would say, and of course, my mom was pregnant at the same time as Fred's mom. So he would see her and he would rub her belly and say, "How's little Freddie today?"
Oh, that's what it is, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. And now people rub his belly and ask how little Freddie is today.
They try to make a wish. They rub his belly. They try to make a wish.
How's little Freddie today?
Yeah, Freddie just goes lower, lower.
Yeah, maybe he calls it little Freddie or something. I don't know. He's trying to come back on. He's just absolutely fuming. I'm surprised that computer hasn't gone through the window by now.
You're always going to say, "Why did you stop?" And then we would redo the thing, later.
Yeah, okay. Good idea, Fred.
You got one chance, buddy. One chance.
You got one shot. What you gonna do with it?
Hey, I want to throw this little teaser out.
Okay.
I think we have our first outside guest lined up to come on the podcast.
Really?
Is this a podcast? What is it? This is really not a podcast, is it?
No, but I
It's a
think
YouTube
podcasts
channel.
are just audio, but
Yeah.
it's a YouTube channel with some videos. We got
We got
two
two
friends. We got two friends. Double trouble. All right.
Listen,
Oh God.
all
This is a
goes,
shit
we
show.
can't handle two
Here we go.
friends.
He's connecting to audio.
So
Let's see if he comes on.
you know
Hey,
who
Fred,
my
you
teaser?
there? No.
You know who my teaser is?
Ooh, who you teasing us with?
So our first outside guest to come on the show, we have a verbal commitment. She hasn't selected a time or a date because she's
Okay.
been busy, but Lisa Wayburn Sanger.
Nice. That's awesome. I can't wait.
Oh, I can't either because you know how much fun she is.
Oh, yeah.
She's gonna just take I might be out of control that.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure you're gonna be. I mean,
Oh,
she's
yeah.
she's gonna raise the bar for
She
sure.
is gonna definitely raise.
I mean, the bar's pretty low, to be
because
honest.
you know what? I have a feeling she's gonna tell stories about each of us.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know if that's a good thing.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
I don't know if she's
mean,
got any dirt on me, but I
well,
have
she's
to.
got a little bit on me. I know that.
She-
Yeah,
Hey, Fred's back.
I ain't scared though.
Hi, welcome to the Lakita.
All right, so that's a wrap for our show.
Yeah, that's a good one, you fucker.
So let's catch Fred up on what we talked about. So we talked about, should they tear down City Hall in Marine City? I said, yeah, fuck it. I don't care. Build a new one. If
I
you're going to
said,
spend
yeah.
the money, if you want to use that land for City Hall, it's probably cheaper to tear it down and build a new one than it is to repair that thing.
And Mike,
Uh,
and Fred,
I also
before
think
you-
the
before you
past
put your-
administration, if they would have taken care of it over the years, I mean, it's a historical landmark. They could at least kept it up. But I would tend to agree. It's almost like when you see these Edisons being raised, and you're a boater and you use those locations as a landmark.
Yeah.
I mean, you come around the corner and it's gone. Wouldn't it be kind of feel weird not having it there anymore?
Yeah, I guess it would, but the same thing happened with the Guy Center. They're having issues at the Guy Center. That's why they had to move out of the Guy Center and they moved to where the gym used to be next to Pepe's. That's where the city offices are now.
The old Ward
Because
Cottrell building.
was it?
No,
That old
not-
brick?
No. Where the Pizza Hut didn't it used to be a Pizza Hut years ago, and it was just Viking Fitness. It's right next to the bank
Oh yeah.
on
yeah.
it's now Huntington Bank. It's
Huh?
changed like 5 times in the
I'm
past 10 years, it seems like, different banks. But yeah, so they moved into there because they're having issues with the Guy Center. So they're having issues with like stuff in the basement of the building, and they're talking about tearing that down. They're talking about selling that. So the theme is that the government of the city government in Marine City does not even take care of their own buildings that they're in. I mean, what a shit show. So they did that with City Hall and they did it with the Guy Center. So who's to blame? The city officials are to blame.
Biff
Oh, yeah.
Laboon.
Well, maybe
Well,
Biff,
it started with Biff. I mean, you know, no disrespect to anybody that even wants even remotely want to be in politics or be involved with that. But even when my grandfather was trying to bring in a marina, down on the water, and you had all the
good place for a marina. I mean, if you're going to have one, it should be on the water.
well, you know what I mean. The one, but it was supposed
No,
to be
we
like.
don't.
So right where the old Anita's is, where the big brown condos are, they decided to build that instead of doing that.
Carlton Arms or whatever. what is
Yeah.
it?
So the thing is that my grandpa wanted to have it like how Lexington has theirs, that, with the wall, but they said no, and you would have brought more business downtown. You probably wouldn't have lost a lot of stuff. But see, the problem is you got a lot of people who are on those boards that fear change because they're older. No disrespect, but the fact is that's where you see all these buildings. You can't touch them. They're historical. Well, if you want them to survive and live and everything else, and want them to be available to you, then you got to take care of them. But they chose not to.
Hey, Mike, you know that where he's talking about the parking lot on the south side between those condos and the park, high school, that's where I used to take my drive down there in my car and have sexy time. Every once in a while.
Here we go. Here we go.
Right in town, huh?
Yeah, right in town, baby.
Right in town. Did you have like tinted windows, or you didn't
Oh,
care?
no.
Yeah.
You
What was his
care.
name?
I had cardboard.
What was his name?
What's his name?
Sounds like if he had sexy time, it sounds like it was
No,
Borat.
I mean, and sometimes it was with someone. Yeah, so that's.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah.
Every
you get
once in a while, I
Where'd you get the
lucky.
racing stripe on your car, Rob? I'm not telling.
Sexy time. Sexy time down by the Carlton.
We ranked our seasons. That was one of the topics you were talking about, Fred. So Rob was number 1 fall, number 2 summer, number 3 winter for him. Spring he detests with a passion. It's too wet and sticky or not or whatever for him. So my top was fall, then summer, and then I said spring because I hate winter with a passion. With the passion of the Christ, I hate winter. It's so bad.
Are you going all Jim Caviezel on us or what?
Yeah, maybe.
All right.
So yeah, I can't stand winter. So I plan to stay at Rob's during the winter time because he's moving to Florida. So
Right.
Oh,
I'm
now.
gonna go stay at Rob's when winter rolls around and get out of this shithole Michigan in the winter.
I hear you on that one, right?
And he's gonna come up in the summer and stay at my house. So
Yeah, well, mine are number 4 is spring. I hate spring too. Number 3 is winter. Number 2 is fall, and number 1 is summer. I got a boat. I like being on the water. And I just like summer because I love the warm weather. My body feels so much better. But it's fall is so hard to not be number 1 for me because obviously it kicks off football season, and being the press box announcer for the Mariners and Marine City, always gets me.
Shameless plug.
Give us the Fred Mariner voice on a play. Like just give us something, Fred.
Okay. Number 32, Rob Streitz with the carry, brought down by number 55, Mike Ward. 3rd down and 5 for the Mariners.
Nice.
See, that's the way he does it.
That's the way he does it.
And even though when it's 3rd down and 6.
Yeah. And
it's a spotter. It's not him.
By the way, let me just clarify this for any Mariner fans that are out there. And let's hope Dale Kaufman's watching this, because I want to tell you, it's another Mariner first down.
I like Mike and I are sitting in the stands I think it was this year, and all of a sudden, not even close to our birthdays. Mine's in spring. Yours, I think, is winter, maybe, Mike?
No, August.
August. And he's like, I want to send a happy birthday wishes to Mike Ward and Rob Streitz out there.
Yeah.
And don't forget to go to the concession stand, and you want a Fresca?
Yep.
He's
Fresca.
He's plugging the hot dogs. And did I hear you announce something about chocolate milk at one of the games or something, or was I imagining things?
No, I don't know about that.
Special on the cheesy chips. I say cheesy chips, 2 for $1. Now all in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we make fun of Fred because his voice changes when he does his announcement. But he has to be a little more clear and a little more concise. We get it. He has to enunciate when he announces.
I would rather see him in his normal form, like it's 3rd down.
Central Michigan.
I don't know.
Central Michigan.
Yeah.
Well, when I tell you guys to go fuck yourself this year in the car, I want to make sure Rob's watching on YouTube. Hey, and this is a special message for Rob Streitz. Go fuck yourself.
Oh, if you do that over the PA, I'll give you $100.
I'll give you.
Oh yeah. As I lose my job that I actually enjoy doing. So, no, thank you.
There's a Hundian for you.
You enjoy doing that job? I never would have guessed that.
Yep. Yep.
Who would have thunk it, huh?
Who would have thunk that?
Like I said, I got to do some pretty cool things because of it. So, and I, like I said, I've bled orange and black my whole life. So,
except when he was at Holy Cross.
He was blue and white. His dad coached at St. Clair, so he's red and blue. But yeah, as most time it's been black and orange.
Well, the funny part is, playing when my dad's the coach on the opposite sideline. So that's kind of funny fun. Too. Yeah.
Hey, Fred, before we wrap up the show, and since you're in that lane, obviously Marine City Mariners being a powerhouse in football in St. Clair County for so long, what do they look like going into this year?
Well, it's one of those things where you every year you're like, well, this might be the year where they have a down year, but that hasn't happened in a while. And the thing is I look at this team, they're such a fine oiled machine. They know from 8th grade what positions that they're going to play. They've learned, simple plays that are part of the playbook, and they're probably the most prepared high school team in the area. The thing that bothers me is I don't think Marine City gets enough recognition as far as statewide. Because I would venture a guess that if you went over the last 20 years, that you look at their winning record, their wins and losses and their playoff runs, it has to be top 3.
Because the consistency.
The consistency. I mean, when you start with Jerry Workentine in 87. You have Tim Carlson that takes over coaches for a year, and then you bring in Bob Siskevich, and that's where you see where you go from here. Jumps big, and the staff that he brought in. You got Tony Scarcelli, and Bill Amiel stuck around a little bit. But then you move from Bob, and then you move to Tony, and then you're getting all these younger coaches and these teachers who are coming in who have football backgrounds, and they start them off and they work them down and they work them up to the varsity level. Bringing in people like Dave Osterlin and Jim Heslop, and this year, they brought in Tim Lolito. I mean, you got a former NFL lineman on your coaching staff.
So the quarterback stays, right? He's got one more year.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Jeffrey Heslop is, he really showed me something, obviously, in that Marysville game that we went to, that I was beside myself. But yeah, he's back this year.
What about the little Italian receiver? I can't think of his name.
Ruffino.
Ruffino, yeah.
Yeah.
Coming back.
I think he might have one more year.
And then they platoon a slew of running backs.
All set at running back.
Yeah.
And then they get the Osterlin boy back too, who's going to be playing fullback and lighting people up.
What about the Walker boys?
Oh, they're all gone. They're all gone.
That's a lot of their defense right there, right?
Well, huge part of it. But the thing is the people that they have and the kids that they brought up.
Next one up.
Yeah, it's going to be
Alabama.
When you got the Kretschmars and you got the Walkers, and they seem like they've been there for 12 years.
Yeah.
And you hate to see them go. I'll tell you right now, it's really hard for me to do senior night because, you get to know these kids and for me, I'm a kind of an emotional guy, especially when it comes to football.
No, come
on.
But
the simple thing is it's hard to say goodbye, but then there's that kid that comes up and it kind of renews that fire and that passion. And I think with this program, if at some point, and I'm not I'm saying anything about the mergers of schools, if they do, they're just going to dominate at the division that they're going to be in. They will eventually just take over because of the coaching staff, the kids that are coming in.
If they can successfully.
Yeah. See, the concern about Marine City for me is there's nowhere to build any subdivisions or anything. A lot of the land in Marine City is owned by farmers, and they're not giving it away. I mean, St. Clair and Marysville has so many different areas where they can opportunities to do that.
Families in, yeah.
Right. So, you're seeing enrollment going down, and you're seeing that. But the thing is we've been all of us have been worried about that. But I mean, they played at Ford Field this past year.
Well, you know what? Frank,
and the thing,
and we say with football teams, high school, has nothing really to do about when they're there, even though it's a big part. It's how far back you go to reach them and to bring them in. Like you said, if you have youth programs that are running the same plays as what they'll run in high school, then they're going to be successful. But if you don't have cohesiveness and collaboration between those groups, then you're not going to have a successful high school.
Well, it's funny you mention that, because there's a lot of, I think that they emulated a lot of what Marysville used to do back when they were Walt Braun. And then you have schools who try to emulate and completely fail because they can't get the coaching staff to focus in on, like, the lower levels. They shouldn't have to focus in on winning or losing. Their job is
running the plays.
They're
teaching the fundamentals.
Well, and learning that. For instance, you got Joe Forgetto, who's a JV coach. He barely throws the football. He runs it all the time, and it's so nice to see that they have such success running the football. It's vanilla, but it's kind of like it's like Denzel Washington says in Remember the Titans. It's like Novocaine. Give it a little bit.
Do you think
give it a chance to work.
You and I sat up in the stands quite a few times in the last 2 years. Even though they're a run dominant team, the way they run the ball is so damn exciting. The way they get those guys into the open middle of the
and when I say vanilla, I'm not talking varsity. I'm talking junior varsity.
No, I know, but
in A3.
I know you were, but I'm just saying, like you said, they prepare them there in that mundane moment for the, the time that they get to shine on varsity. And when they get there, holy crap. In
Yeah, but
our day,
I
when
think
Marine City or a St. Clair team went and played a team from inner city Detroit, would get waxed. And nowadays you see Marine City waxes all of them because of disciplined football.
Exactly.
Disciplined, controlled football.
I think they're going to have to do something to develop more of the passing game, though. I mean, the 2 times that they won the state championship, they were able to throw the ball when they needed to. I mean, this last game, horrendous. They got shut down because they were one-dimensional.
Well, let me just tell you,
stopped the run and
Grand Rapids Catholic Central praised Marine City because it was 10-7 at halftime.
Yeah, but Fred,
okay. Now let me finish. Now the thing is there's a couple things that changed that game, and it was at no time in 2007 or 2013 when they won the state champ was there replay. You take those 2 replays away, the game's relatively close.
Yeah.
Okay, so they at no time during this school year do they have a replay, and all of a sudden they bring it into the state championship game, which I think is ludicrous. So I mean, the fact is when you have a school like Grand Rapids Catholic Central that they don't have
they recruit from all over the state.
Yeah, they recruit all over the west side of the state. But the thing is their enrollment isn't much bigger than they're probably right in between Marine City and St. Clair.
Mm-hmm.
So the difference is ours are homegrown, theirs are from all over the place.
So let me ask you this, Fred. And a couple times in those games that we sat in the stands, particularly the last playoff game in Marine City this year, and you confirmed it after you came out of the press box to Mike and I, hey, why do you throw the ball when they can't stop you running the ball? But, however, to Mike's point, you could do that in the local regional playoff game stuff. But when you get to the big game, then you got to have that extra wrinkle that you got to be able to throw the ball. Now, of course, right. Marine City had Brandon Kay in the day. So, that was no problem throwing the ball. But where do you think they developed that wrinkle of a passing game? Because Hayslip, although a good quarterback throwing the ball, he was a little shaky and unsure and maybe threw a couple interceptions when he shouldn't have.
Well, let me say that the first interception he threw in the game was they practiced that play, and he threw it to the right place. Okay. The guy he was supposed to throw it to
was in the wrong spot.
He was in the right spot. He threw it to the check down, threw it in the middle of the field and got intercepted. The guy in the going to the corner to the end zone was wide open. I mean, he could have sat there and took his time and thrown it there, and it would have been. They practiced it all week. This is with one of the coaches, but though it's high school, people are going to make mistakes, but see, good teams overcome those mistakes, and that's what they did. And
of course they did, yeah.
And I give them kudos because Darren Lutzen has done a very nice job, and he's kept a good, solid coaching staff. The kids believe in the program. There's not a school in this area that gets more kids to like the dawn patrol type things and early in the morning before school and showing up. You're talking kids in 8th, 9th, 10th, and of course the seniors are all there and they're ready.
The commitment levels. Yeah.
It's all about the commitment. If you want to say about the Raiders, the commitment to excellence. That is one fine oiled machine that is always going to be successful.
I think their commitments to team. When you watch team
question.
play, they support their teammates more than any other high school team I've ever seen, for sure.
Yep, and the community. And I'll be honest with you, the kids, when the band performs and everything after the game, they sit they as a team sit and watch the band do their performance and applaud for them. So that, I think everybody's on board when you step in East China Stadium when it's a Friday night and the Mariners are coming out of the tunnel.
They had 2 kids on the football team that were part of the band this year.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, you get a lot of that, especially when you got a school that's small, or
Yeah.
smaller. But like I said, I think they're going to be a very interesting team to watch. I think they're going to be dynamic on offense. The question is how, defensively, they lost a few people, but there were some people that stepped up when some people were hurt that actually did a decent job. And that JV squad wasn't that bad of a team. So and they don't care about, what you do down there, win or lose, but the fact is they know that once they get up there, they know that it's time to play ball. And
Freddie, give us 2 names on that team that maybe we've never heard of before that you've seen, younger guys that you just mentioned maybe stepped in and did a great job. 2 names that we wouldn't heard of to look for this year.
Okay. I will tell you that Darren Lutzon's son, and
He played quite a bit this
yeah,
past year.
and then a kid by the name of Paul Muscat.
Muscat.
Yeah,
Love
I'm
the
going to
name,
tell you.
though.
I'm going to tell. Wow.
Sounds too much like muskrat, though. I don't
Well,
know. I don't think
But
have
let,
that.
let me just tell you, he came. When they, obviously they were beating some of the teams pretty good at that time. They brought him in and he ran the ball. There's a few other kids. I'm not familiar with their names, but Lutzon's kid played well. And I wish I could remember his first name. I apologize. But the Muscat kid is one kid that stood out to me as a running back. And even the quarterback that they had wasn't even. I think the one kid that his last name was Frank. He got hurt, and I believe he was the starting quarterback, and the kid that took over for him actually did a very nice job. I actually did a JV game announcing because Craig Zimmerman couldn't do it, and they played a Grosse Pointe South, either north or south, and they, of course, Grosse Pointe's going to have a lot more kids than we do, and they were bigger. And Marine City had a beautiful game plan. Joe Forgetto called a great game. The kids played well, and they ended up winning that game. And I was fairly impressed.
Mike, what do you say? We wrap it up? You got anything else for us? You're always
No.
our sounding board of reason.
I'm just pissed that I missed all the NFL draft part. Damn.
Yeah, we didn't talk much about that. We moved on. So you didn't miss much.
We'll talk more.
Yeah, we'll talk more
draft.
So yeah, I think it's time to wrap it for this week, and onward and upward, right?
Yep. And just to remind you, Lisa Wayburn has committed to doing a show in the near future. Sorry, I wish I had heard that.
Yeah.
And a buddy of mine, Jeff Hall, who's interested in doing a show talking a little bit about some sports and stuff like that. He's pretty knowledgeable, and he's a Muskrat, so we can kind of
we're going after that.
We can kind of dig him a little bit, but he's got some pretty good perspectives too. And then we can talk about music and stuff like that coming up in some future shows, but we'll see how things go. I will be on Facebook tomorrow promoting the show, and like I said,
is that a threat?
No, that's a promise. That's a promise, baby.
That's a promise, baby. Hey,
right.
Bacon. It's a spice.
All right, guys. Well, have a good night, and we'll
boys,
do another episode next week.
All right, sounds great. Have a good one.
See ya.
Peace.